Welcome to Vision ProNotes for August 22nd, 2025. I'm Marty Jensies, a faculty member at a Midwest University, a podcaster, and an Apple product fan. I also happen to be a co-host of Vision Profiles with Eric Bolden, Dave Ginsberg, and Daniel Burkholder. We do a live show of Vision Profiles, which we record so you can pick up the video or the audio later. But it happens on Monday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Time at youtube.com/@visionprofiles. And that's our YouTube channel. You can see it there. You can get the video later. You can also pull the podcast from there if you want to. But we do these ProNotes as like 5-minute, 10-minute little bits to tell you what we'll be talking about coming up with the next Monday night show. So we try to cover the topical news that has just come out so you're on top of it. And then we have a larger discussion about it with our Monday night show. You can catch ProNotes on Wednesday mornings, Friday mornings, and Monday mornings, the morning before a show. And you can follow us again on youtube.com/@visionprofiles. The ProNote for today is Vivo Vision launches information. I can't even call it a product launch. They launch information on their AVP-like headset. So this was built up. We even talked about it, I think, on the last show that Vivo Vision is going to be doing this headset. We got a little more details today. Not everything that you'd hope for in terms of details, but a little more details. Vivo's just unveiled the Vivo Vision mixed reality headset in China. It's a dead ringer for the Apple Vision Pro. It's pitched to be about 10,000 yen or roughly $1,400 US. And on paper, that looks pretty good. And what they have to say about it looks pretty good. Dual micro-OLED 8K binocular panels with 3840 by 3552 per eye, 94% DCI P3 color, and it comes in at 398 grams, which is lighter than the Vision Pro. It runs on OriginOS Vision, which is the platform that's created for it by the company Origin that creates, or Vivo Vision that creates the product. It also has a Qualcomm XR2 Plus Gen 2 hardware in it. And it uses an Apple-style gaze and pinch with full hand tracking. So that's all good. That's all great. But here's the catch. It isn't for sale. It's demo only when you go to select Vivo stores. There are no pre-orders yet, no ship dates. Vivo hints that it's a $1,400 US target, but we're not sure. There are parts of it that we don't know about with it. So just for some clarity, we'll run down this. We'll also put this in the show notes. So if you want these details, you can find them in the show notes of both the video and the podcast that's associated with this Vision ProNote. The name is Vivo Vision. It's also been known as the Vision Discovery Edition, and sometimes uses Explorer Edition as a component in its title. In-store demos only, as I mentioned, a dozen locations in China. There's no confirmed pre-orders or ship dates that are going to occur with it. The hardware is, I mentioned, a dual micro-OLED screen with 8K binocular is what they're calling it. I'm not sure the specifics of what that is and why that's like that. 398 grams, not including the external battery in terms of weight. And we'll do a comparison later between these kinds of specs and what's available with the Vision Pro, the best we can do the specs. Passthrough is full color, quoted at under 13 milliseconds latency. The chip OS is Snapdragon XR2 Gen 2 running OriginOS Vision. There's a gaze and pinch. They even have a video in some of these articles. The two articles I'm drawing from are one article from CNET and another article from 9 to 5 Mac. Those links will also be in the show notes. So if you want to see those articles, you can grab them through the show notes and you can take a look for yourself. But there are also sample videos, like they have a little promotional video in there so you can see at least a rendition of what it looks like or what they think it will look like. Target price is 10,000 yen, as I mentioned, or $1,400, significantly under the Vision Pro's $34.99 price, but it's not final, and they'll announce it when they have a product to ship. Comparison between Vivo Vision and Apple Vision Pro. The weight, as I said, of the Vivo Vision is supposed to be 398 grams, minus the battery pack or minus whatever it is that is going to power this thing. Apple Vision Pro is around 600 to 650 grams. So you're looking between 600, 650 compared to 400 grams, say, for the Vivo Vision. The computational power is using an XR2 Gen 2 Android versus a Apple M series, which is what's running on the Vision OS. And Apple will most likely upgrade that M series with another version of this rumored of the Vision Pro to come out in the next couple of months or in the next 6 months or so. So you'll see probably M4s or M5 chips in there. So that will increase the computing power. Frankly, the device needs it. Not that it's slow now, just that it really is capable of doing a lot of computing power. We don't know what is going to be necessitate with Vivo Vision in terms of that. Vivo Vision's per eye resolution is competitive with Apple, but there's no clear statement about the refresh rate or the brightness of their displays in Vivo Vision. The ecosystem, Apple has a year plus head start with tighter integrations with Apple ecosystem, and Vivo's in-store app and content is really unclear at this point. Still, what's missing from this is the ship timeline. There's no pre-order date, no shipping window for this device. There's no understanding of what the battery life is going to be on it, and what the external pack is going to be like, if there is an external pack for this. Display specs and refresh rate, brightness nits that you hear about has not been published in any official materials. The field of view has been kind of a fun discussion because it mentions a panoramic 180 degree view. Well, yeah, you get that with Apple Vision Pro on what you're looking at if you turn to the right and turn to the left. But what is the actual field of view? There's no particular information on that, and it hasn't been standardized in terms of the Vivo Vision. Controllers, which is a big issue. Vivo Vision is going to do hand tracking. That's featured. You see it in the video. They talk about that. Not sure about controller support or who their content partners are, so who's producing content that would use controllers. That isn't spelled out yet, so that's another unknown in terms of questions. And then there's no global plans. There's been no word on international release or certifications that are going to go with an international release. The question, I think, was directly put to the person doing the presentation. So will this hit the U.S. market? And they just did not answer that question. Or will it hit an international market? And the availability in other countries, there was no response to that. So tons and tons of articles about this. This seems to be a feeding frenzy around this article, but the reality check is all you got today was a demo. It's only in demo mode. It's hard to call it a launch because there's so much that's not known about it. You don't have an estimated time when it's going to actually, the device is going to be produced and sold and distributed. So more information, but not really a launch or not really a well-defined item or product at this point. And we see this with Samsung's product. We see this with Meta. They throw this stuff up for press information with no details, no timelines, no costs, no expectations. But they get a lot of clicks and they garnish a lot of news reports. It gives people something to write about on the various platforms. So you can find, again, these links in the show notes of both the video and the podcast version of this. Tune in for us on Monday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Time at youtube.com/@visionprofiles. Pick up the video some other time if you can't tune in, or pick up the audio. We love to hear from you, so please contact us and send us email. You can do that at thepodtalknetwork@gmail.com. And easy enough to just send us an email. We've got some really nice emails from listeners, and I appreciate that. Because there's no money coming my way for doing this. We kind of do this out of love and enjoyment. So thanks for the emails for the folks that we've gotten. And even when they've corrected us, they've been very, very kind. And it's nice to have that kind of relationship with listeners. Learn more about the Vision Profile podcast at our website, thepodtalk.net. Spread the word to other visionaries. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.